Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I have this knife here that I'm starting my trials with, and this is the Origin Knives Mark II bushcrafter. Let's take a look at it. Nice tight fit there, give you a bit of a close up. So there's been a few subtle changes to this Mark II knife from the original one, and if you look in the description box below, I'll put a link there and you can see the original video. So the changes are, from the front we've got a swedge, the blade's been gun blued, a change of handle material, and we'll have fastening added to the spine right along it and to the underneath side of the blade. Also high convex grind, Hermali handle scales with brass pins, 5mm thick, solid through tang with the faceting through the spine up to the thumb ramp, and also on the underside. Rocky pattern scales, an index groove, the finger, stabilising platform here at the choil. Beautiful knife this, and this one has a 30mm swedge on it to help pierce materials. Really comfortable in the handle, solid grip, full fisted grip, and on this side you can see Origin Knives logo there, the footprint, and there's the rocky pattern carved into the Hermali. So this knife was built upon the principles of Hansky's idea of a survival knife. A knife that's robust enough and heavy enough to take continuous use, with a solid tang, with an upsweeping blade where the point goes from the centre of the knife to the spine, and you can see this one clearly does that. A knife that's like a pry bar that works wood particularly well. Palm width and length, you can see that there. With a continuous upsweeping blade, and Moore's wanted a Scandi edge done in his. This one's got a convex. He also wanted a knife that was heavy enough that gave you confidence when you picked it up to the feel and touch. And this knife definitely covers all those aspects. This one has a 90-degree spine on the anvil there, along here, and a 30mm swedge. Moore's had a plate on the end of his, and you can see this one here, it's actually got a thumb ramp. So for piercing, hard piercing thumb placement here on it. Very comfortable, gives a lot of confidence in this stabbing action. There we go, so that's a nice close-up of the knife and some of the principles that this blade was built upon. So here we have the sheath that the Mark II comes in, and you can see here at the front it's got a 15mm drain hole. It's got 4 slots on the sheath for attaching it to your equipment or yourself, and it's got the brass rivets. Lovely imprint here on the handle. Look how tight fitting this is. This Kydex has always been brilliant. Every knife I've had, really secure, It holds it in place with friction alone. So that's the sheath it comes in. You can pick any colour that you want. You just let them know when you're ordering it. I went for black this time. So here we have a size comparison. On the left we have the Sear Tanto. In the middle we have the Mark II bushcrafter. And on the right we have his Mark IV bushcrafter done in B-cut. So here we can see a size comparison with the Mark II on top against the Origin Knives Borden Trout. The ability to cut into your ration box, so just standard piece of cardboard. Easy. Yep. Paracord. String. There you go. So very good at that. We have the swedge here which assists for puncturing material. You can see that there, gets underneath the skin. There we go. This is so sharp I'm actually scared in case I slip with it. But you can see it there actually doing the peeling action. That's really good. A really short piece of stick this, so quite difficult to do, but this curvature is really working well. And if you want it thinner, the feathers, you just come the first inch from the tip, makes them nice and small and thin. And you want them bigger, just come further back. Not as good as a tracker knife in my opinion, but very good at doing this. And you can get your thumb in here or over the top of the thumb ramp, which shortens the blade again and gives you nice control right to the very tip. Look at this. Just with this pressure here on my thumb, and then I can come up onto this stabilising platform and shorten it again to tiny minuscule trumpet rolls. So you get a lot of control with this knife, depending on what position you want to use. And this stabilising platform here where my thumb is excellent for getting right up and choking up on the blade, and basically you can get your thumb near enough all the way to the tip if you use that platform here. So a lot of thoughts went into this knife, really like it. And there's the feathers. You pick the thickness that you want. If you want them tiny, you just choke up on here, here and here, and just use that tip for maximum control. There's the thickness of the wood and the blade. So let's see how we go on when it comes to battening. There we go. Lovely piece of wood that. Not often I get that here. That anvil along here just gives you a nice surface to hit with your batten. Straight through. Yeah, let's see what it's like at splitting. Tip pierces in. There we go. Again. Reinforced thumb on the top here. Twist. There we go. That's what you're looking for. Yes, excellent. Let's look at the tip. Yeah, that swedge has really come into its own there. The rest of the blade's fine. And that anvil along here gave a good surface area to hit with your batten. Right, who's this knife for then? Well, obviously it was built to be a bushcraft stroke survival knife. With this continual upsweeping blade, I think this would be an ideal hunter's knife. You can see the skinning type action that curvature gives you. Very comfortable in the hand. So I think if you were a hunter, this would definitely be a model to have a look at. Bushcrafting, yes, as we said at the start of the video, this was built upon Morse Kahansky's principles of what he was looking for in a survival knife, and I think this fits the bill really well. And it has the convex edge, which I prefer to the Scandi. It's just got more robustness to the cutting edge when you're doing stuff like battening and heavy chopping. This permali is one of the best materials I've come across for knife handle material. It's moisture proof, it's flame retardant, and it's used in the cryogenic industry. So it's got really good thermal properties, and it has a lot of mechanical strength also. So this is basically can be machined and milled very similar to steel. That's how good this stuff is. It's quite shock resistant. I've never had any issues with that when heavy chopping with the blade. So yeah, this is ideal. And for cleaning and washing off, it's also salt water proof, oil proof. So it's one of the best materials I've come across. So if you were skinning any game, fish, yes, just stick it in hot water, soapy water, give it a clean off. Make sure you dry the blade because it is O1, and you know O1 can rust. So thoroughly dry it off and then oil it up before you put it away once you finish with it. So I think this is an ideal knife then for anybody who's into their bushcraft and maybe does a bit of hunting also. Well, thanks again for coming along to the channel. I do appreciate your support, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Cheers.